to leave the atmosphere in a craft not designed for the journey, and you anticipate hostile encounters with a technologically superior foreign enemy. Correct?
That's what I'm saying. You have to go.
Monica.
You have a chance to find the coolest mission in the history of missions. And you're going to give it up to sit on the couch and watch Fresh Prince with me?
Memories.
Oh, it's
Good
the
advice.
coolest mission in the history of missions! Lashana Lynch blasts off as fighter pilot Maria Rambeau in Marvel's most action-packed superhero adventure yet. Raj, what's it called?
I believe it's called Captain Marvel.
Welcome, Lashana! Good morning. Yes.
That's women every day.
We saw this yesterday, and I mean, from beginning to end, with the media screener, it could go either way. Everybody eating up every second. Congratulations.
They were laughing, they were cheering at it, and usually it's very sedate in those things.
Yes.
They were having fun. So were we.
So when you land this role, you're very prepared for what's going to happen to your life, right? Like, this is like you're immortalized forever. Captain Marvel films, like this is the big time.
Yeah, literally. And I've been a fan for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to be a fan and then suddenly get the job and you're like, oh, I'm in the family now? Okay, great. Okay, sure. How do I do the both at the same time? It's kind of bizarre.
Now, do they have an initiation into the family you got to do? Now that you're part of the family?
Not that I know of. Is there one that I was supposed to have had and then they just kind of missed me out? I don't know.
And yes, two females in the lead. You are starring alongside Brie Larson. She is Captain Marvel. How does it feel to be in a movie of this significance with women in the lead?
It feels incredible. It feels like high time. We've been needing it and wanting it for a long time. Women have been vocal, using their voice over the last few years especially, and it's just a great reflection of where the world's going right now.
Yeah.
And it's a strong, fun movie as well. And now, look at that, you had two directors, male and female, on it.
Yeah.
What is that like, trying to balance that out? And obviously, it worked from the movie, but what was it like?
Incredibly. They make a really good team. They balance each other out very well. So one would come up to me and have maybe more of a kind of subtle, kind of acting type version of a note, and then the other would have a kind of like more undertoned, quite high-powered superhero type. So they just, I don't know, just balance each other out. They feel like actors, directors, which is, it's an actor's dream.
And yesterday we were talking about, we often hear of the bromance, right? So you're the BFF, so you're the co-pilot in life and all things with Brie. We're like, what is the equivalent when you have, people said a womance, a cismance, I made up galamance. It's gals in a galaxy. Yes, Lashana. What was yours?
Fromance.
That's terrible.
No, fromance.
No, that's
feminine romance. I don't know.
I just think of Afromance.
I know. It kind of was what came to mind after, too. But now I've said it, I got to stick with it,
Okay,
right?
sure. We'll take both.
There is so much heart in this movie on top of all of that amazing CGI special effects. So when you're in your fighter pilot jet scene and you have like Samuel L. Jackson to the right, Brie Larson to the left, and a CGI cat, are you like, this is my life right now?
Yeah, there was that point, because that was like, I think that was the first week that happened, and I kind of looked at the green screen going, oh, this is really happening. This is my life. Amazing. But I get to do little things like adding strings to my bow with the job like this. So I got to fly an F-16
very cool.
for a day, with these two amazing female fighter pilots who let me onto their Air Force Base and let me spend 2 days with them. So I got to kind of get the muscle memory of that. So when I was in the simulator, I knew exactly how that felt.
G-force on your face.
G-force. It's like your eyeballs kind of rolling out like this and then falling into your back pocket.
Oh, my gosh. And, of course, this is set in the 90s, so we were laughing hysterically. You're too young to remember the 90s.
I was flashing back on a lot of stuff.
The pagers, the internet cafe.
The dial-up.
VHS.
Walkman.
The memories. We've come a long way. What was one of the things that stood out to you that you laughed at, where you're thinking, I do remember that, or that's a funny little, nod to the 90s?
The dial-up was the one for me, because I remember saying, I need to use the phone. Can you just get off the computer for a second, because it's not going to work at the same time? Can we just all calm down? And then suddenly that changed, and I was like, well, we can do both at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, guys. So yeah, the dial-up and pagers were fantastic.
I never had it. Did you have a pager?
No, I never had a pager. I didn't even have one of the brick phones, I don't think.
Me neither. I did dress much like Brie in this movie. We don't want to give away too much, but I was grunge. I was all about the grunge. You?
I was more of a kind of hip-hop girl. I had the baggy jeans and the kind of hoodies and more of a TLC kind of vibe.
I only wore clothes that men wore in the 70s for about 10 years.
Excellent.
I was that.
We often call this the therapy couch.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to it,
Okay,
Lashana.
sure, let's go.
And apparently you have a big blockbuster movie that's opening tomorrow, as well as our problems.
Yeah.
So when you're watching this back, what do you hope that people take from it, aside from all the incredible, stories that Marvel brings? What do you hope people take from the movie?
I feel that I know, actually, that everyone's going to be empowered. They're going to feel like they're finally being represented. Different types of women, different walks of life are being represented in this. Younger generation so the younger Carol gets her moment, my daughter gets her moment, and it's just nice to see young people use their voice on screen.
Yeah, and
Look
Brie,
at her.
oh, she's adorable.
Amazing. She's
And Brie was also so brilliant. What a big role for her. A lot of people know her, of course, from the movie Room.
Yes.
What was it like in terms of building that chemistry? Because you really do have such a loving, nurturing relationship in this film. Did you hang out together a lot? How did you achieve that?
I think, firstly, it was nice to just know that we wanted the same thing. We both just wanted to represent the modern-day woman in all her glory, positively, and just have a real nice, natural, organic connection with two women. We wanted the same thing, but we also got to hang out and have, like, dinner beforehand, and it's quite hard to hang out when you're working and wanting to just take over the world on set.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to have that balance.
Typical Marvel Tuesday.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it wasn't hard. Brie's amazing, so we just found a natural connection.
All right, I got a question.
Okay,
What's it like working with a 40-year-old Samuel Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's 40, 45
What's
in
it
this
like
one.
for Sam to work with a 40-year-old Sam Jackson?
Yeah, like, was he wearing the green suit? What were they doing with him?
He had dots on his face. He had a few white dots that throughout. That was basically his de-aging.
Do you ever find yourself staring at them?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the dots.
Yeah.
Can I have that like every day for like HGTV? Because I was like, what's he
speak to Marvel and make that like a product or something.
You have such a movie star name, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Like, it's just the coolest name.
Thanks very much.
And you can see this movie star tomorrow. Why Captain Marvel blasts into theaters, soars into theaters. Will you be our co-pilot anytime you're in town?
Sure.
Toronto turns 185 today. What do you love about this city?
Oh my gosh.
Lashana?
I love that I can feel like I'm in a winter wonderland when I go outside.
Oh.
We don't often get to experience that.
Is that
at
a good
home.
thing? Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
great. To have snow everywhere is fantastic.
I love her. Okay, Lashana Lynch in theaters tomorrow. Will you be our BFF?
Yes, gladly.
Our Galamets.
Yes, we
Do you guys want some alone time? I'll give you guys some alone time.
Socks.
More on BT after the break.
You need Captain Marvel socks.
I don't have any.
We need to upgrade you.
Okay,
My new
upgrade me.
best friend. Sorry, Brie Larson. I'm too close.
We're just going to stay here.